I'm explaining about comparative leadership analysis and Draupadi Murmu and Abdul Debin. I'm explaining about this introduction. The presentation explore the leadership styles of Draupadi Murmu, President of India, and Abdul Debin, President of Algeria, in constant their approaches are using leadership theories such as transformational servant, transactional, and situational leadership. Murmu leadership is a symbolic grounded in values like inclusion and empathy, while Debin pragmatic and control-oriented leadership stems from Algeria. Post-authorization context, the presentation aims to distract how each leadership background and political environment influence the leadership strategies. We will delve into the application of these theories with real-life examples of their leadership in action and compare their effectiveness and navigating their respective national challenges. And the leadership profile, Draupadi Murmu. The 15th President of India has been a symbol of inclusion and empowerment. Born in Odisha, she is the first tribal woman hold the office. Her leadership journey begins with a role as an Odisha MLA and Governor of Jharkhand, where she advocated for tribal land rights. Murmu's leadership is characterized by moral strength, humanity, and the commitment to education, particularly for marginalized communities. Despite facing immense personal loss, she turned the spiritually and public services, becoming a unifying figure in Indian politics. Her tenure is an example of servant leadership where empathy and advocacy for the poor are central to her actions. And leadership theory is applied. Draupadi Murmu. Murmu leadership aligns with both transformation and servant leadership theories. For instance, as governor of Jharkhand, she displayed a transformation leadership by returning to land amendment bills that threatened tribal and rights. This decision reflected her moral courage and commitment to justice, empowering based theory of idealizing influences and intellectual stimulations. Her actions led to a significant empowerment of over 9 million tribal citizens. As President Muhammad advocates for servant leadership by emphasizing the importance of empathy of governance. Her 2023 speech to 182 IAS officers urged them to prioritize grassroots concerns, showing how she leads with a focus on serving the marginalized. And critical evaluation, Draupadi Murmu. Murmu's leadership is a powerful example of ethical decision making and inclusive governance. Her advocacy for marginalized communities, particularly her work on tribal education and land rights, demonstrates a clear alignment with the transformational and servant leadership values. However, her largely ceremonial role limits its executive power, which sometimes restricts her ability to implement policy changes. Despite this, her moral authority and a symbolic role of unifying figure make her a highly influential leader in India. Now, while she faces challenges inherent in her positions, Murmu's leadership underscores the potential for symbolic leadership to drive meaningful change, especially in democratic context like India's. Leadership profile. Uh, Abdelmehid Debin, president of Algeria since 2019, emerged as a leader during a time of political unrest following the Iraq movement. With a background in administration and former roles as Minister of Housing and Prime Minister, Debin is viewed as a technolo leader with a approach governance. His rise to power was shaped by public demands for reform following the fall of Bouteflika long-standing regime. Debon leadership is marked by cautious reformism, balancing the need for systemic um, cha- change with maintaining the stability of Algeria. Entire state, his leadership is often perceived as a stabilizing force through his commitment to democracy has been questioned due to media restrictions and political repression. Leadership and leadership theory is applied. Uh, Abdul Mahir Debin leadership exemplifies transactional and situational theories. He leadership style focuses on stability through control, economic incentives, and institutional loyalty. For instance, during his 2024 re-election campaign, he enforced authority through media restrictions and arrests of political activists, reflecting a transactional leadership style. Simultaneously, his situational leadership emerged in response of Algeria post-Iraq political environment, where he introduced constitutional reforms and launched economical programs such as unemployment benefits for youth and to maintain order. These actions reveal his ability to adapt his leadership style to the challenges posed by public interest, economic crisis, and Algeria's complex political landscape. On critical evaluation, Abdel Majid Devin leadership demonstrate a strong focus on control and stability essential for maintaining order post authoritarianism. His traditional leadership approach using economic incentives and media control has helped stabilizes Algeria political environment. However, this approach has raised concerns about the erosion of democratic values as evidenced by low voter turnout and suppression political dissent. While his situational leadership has allowed for some reforms such as constitutional changes and energy sector diversification, and precedence of military influences and institutional adversity limits the depth of genuine political change. Devon leadership therefore reflects the delicate balance between maintaining control and managing public disconnect, and comparison and insights. The leadership styles Draupadi Murmu and Abdul Mahit, they will reflect how a context the political environment shapes leadership strategies. Murmu's transformational and servant leadership style emphasizes empathy, replacing model integrity, making her a unifying figure, and India. Despite her ceremonial role in constant debate and transformational and situational leadership is designed in maintain stability and control on Algeria post-authoritarian setting. His leadership is more directive, marked by pragmatic reforms and focus on economic incentives. Both the leaders navigate complex political landscapes, but Muammar's ethical influences constructs with a more pragmatic control-oriented approach. The leadership illustrates the diverse way leaders can respond to the demonstration of the political environment and learning outcomes from the two leaders. Analyzing leadership styles of Draupadi Murmu and Abdul Devi has provided valuable insights into the impact of contact to the leadership effectiveness. Murmu's servant leadership demonstrates how empathy and ethical decision making can drive change even in symbolic roles. Her advocacy for marginalized communities highlights the importance uh, highlights an importance empathy decision making can drive change even in symbolic roles, and advocacy for marginalized communities highlights the importance of moral leadership. On the other hand, tribune transactional leadership reveals how leaders must adapt to political inability and economic challenges using practical methods to maintain control. Both leaderships teach me the leadership is shaped by personal values, political context, and the challenges they face. Understanding these factors can help improve leadership strategies in various settings. Conclusion. And this analysis underscores the construction leadership styles of Draupadi Murmu and Arvind Kebin as shaped by their socio-political environments. Murmu's transformational and servant leadership emphasizes values as empathy, resilience, and advocacy for the marginalized. In contrast, between transactional and situational leadership focuses on stability, economic incentives, and control essential for navigating Algeria's post-authorization context. Both the leaders exemplifying how leadership is shaped by national expectations, institutional structures, and personal values, while Murmu's leadership fosters inclusion and moral courage. Different leadership provides stability but risk different demonstrate challenges. This comparison highlights the need for context-specific leaders' approaches to address complex political and social issues. Yeah, this is references for all, and thank you.